So, the first topic that we shall be starting is decision making. And if we have to start this decision making, the most important aspect of the decision making is that you have to understand the concept of relevant cost, or you have to understand the concept of relevant cash flows. So the first and the foremost area that we'll be covering up when we'll be discussing about decision making is the relevant cash flow. Then what we will be discussing is we'll be talking about these various short-term decisions that an entity comes across. We'll be discussing the limiting factor analysis. Then the fourth area that we will be covering will be the um, the fourth area that we'll be covering up is going to be this pricing decision. And then what we would be doing is we'll be discussing that how the risk and uncertainty, how the risk and uncertainty are catered in the decision making, how the risk and uncertainty are catered in the decision making. That is something that we will be covering up. So if I talk about this decision making, what we would be doing with respect to decision making is that we will first be discussing about relevant cash flows. The second thing is short-term decisions. The third one of them is limiting factor. The fourth is pricing, and the fifth is risk and uncertainty. So let's start discussing about the relevant cash flows or the relevant costing. Relevant costing or relevant cash flow. Now, what exactly do you mean by relevant cash flows or relevant costing? So let's try to have an understanding. Whenever we talk about decision making, we say that relevant costs refer to costs that need to be considered while taking a decision. So what do we mean by relevant costing? The relevant cost actually means those costs which need to be considered while taking a decision. So I repeat, those costs which are to be considered while taking a decision, they are going to be considered as relevant cost. Are there any specific properties about the relevant cost? Yes, there are different names that are given to the relevant cost. And what are those? So whenever we study the relevant costs, so the relevant costs include, the relevant costs include, what do they include? They include number one, they include the directly attributable cost. The second thing about the relevant cost is they include the opportunity cost. The third one of them is they include the incremental cost. So what do the relevant costs includes? The relevant cost includes directly attributable costs. The relevant cost includes opportunity cost. Relevant cost includes incremental cost. And what are those things which the relevant cost does not include? So it says you need to understand that the relevant costs do not include. What is it that is not included in the relevant cost? The first one of them is called committed cost. The second one of them is called past cost. The third one of them is called the non-cash items. Now, what exactly are all of these? So we are going to discuss them through examples. What exactly are all of these? So we are going to discuss them through the examples. So let's talk and let's discuss the first one of them is, what does relevant cost include? So first one says directly attributable cost. So what do we mean by this? Relevant cost means directly attributable cost. Like for example, you are setting up a factory. You are setting up a factory, and you do know that when you would be setting up a factory, you would be manufacturing the goods. So if you would be manufacturing the goods, you will be buying the material, you would be hiring the labor, you'll be paying the labor cost. you'll be incurring the overheads like electricity, etc., etc., etc. So all of these costs are directly attributable costs. Now, what do we mean by directly attributable costs? This means they arise as a result of. I repeat, what happens is they arise as a result of. I repeat, what happens is they arise as a result of a decision. So when we talk about the directly attributable costs, the concept of directly attributable costs is that these are those costs that arise as a result of a decision. What is it? They arise as a result of decision. That is what the directly attributable costs are considered to be. Now, let's move a bit forward and discuss further. There's another concept which is whenever we talk about the relevant cost includes the opportunity cost. I repeat, the relevant cost include opportunity cost. Now, opportunity cost, what do you mean by this? This means the benefit foregone. The opportunity cost means the contribution lost. So opportunity cost means whatever that you lose because of taking a specific decision, that is going to be considered as opportunity cost. Now, what are the examples of opportunity cost? Assume that you had a premises and that premises was rented out, and it was rented out at $1 million a year. I repeat, you had a premises, the premises was rented out to a third party at $1 million a year. Now, what your plan is, you plan to set up a factory at this premises. You plan to set up your own factory at this premises. So you got this specific premises vacated. When you got the premises vacated, I repeat, when you got the premises vacated, what is going to happen is you will be losing out this $1 million rent in a year. If you will be vacating your premises, what would you be losing out? You'd be losing out $1 million. I repeat, you would be losing out $1 million of the rental that you would have earned had the tenant been there. So if you wish to set up a factory, the first thing that you need to do is that you need to get this premises vacated. And as a result of vacation of the premises, you'll be losing out $1 million. So this $1 million is the loss. This $1 million is the opportunity cost. It's the loss that you have to bear in order to undertake this specific opportunity. So what have we done? We have gone through the second concept, which is the opportunity cost. The third one of them is incremental cost. So another property of this relevant cost or the relevant cash flow is that the relevant cash flows are incremental. What do you mean by relevant cash flows being incremental? So incremental means differential. I repeat, the concept of incremental means differential. I repeat, the concept of incremental means differential. So the relevant cash flows are differential cash flows. They are incremental cash flows. What do we mean by this? This actually means that assume that you already had a factory which was operating and you were having a sales of, let's say, $2 million a year. Now you have expanded the factory, and after the expansion your sales have become $3.5 million. So if you wish to make a calculation of what is going to be the relevant cash flow, you would say that the relevant cash flow is going to be $1.5 million. I repeat, you would say that the relevant cash flow is going to be $1.5 million. Now, what do you mean by this relevant cash flow to be $1.5 million? Because this 1.5 is the incremental cash flow. I repeat, this 1.5 is the incremental cash flow. That is, it's a differential cash flow. I repeat, it's an incremental cash flow, which is it's a differential cash flow. Is that okay now? Okay, so this is what it is, that if you have to establish the relevant cash flows, this is how you do it. That these are the relevant cash flows. Now what next is there? The next situation is basically these are the few things which are not included in the relevant cash flows. These are the few things that are not included in the relevant cash flow. What do we mean by those things which are not included in the cash flows? So the relevant cash flows do not include committed costs. Now, what do we mean by committed costs? The committed cost means the costs which are already committed to be incurred, irrespective of the decision that you are taking. I repeat, the costs which are already committed to be incurred, irrespective of the decision you are taking. For example, this is a premises that you have taken on rent. You're using only this portion of this specific premises. You're not using the whole premises, you're only using partial premises. This portion of the premises is vacant. Now, but you're paying out rent for the whole premises. You're paying out rent for the whole premises. And let's say the portion which is occupied is 70% and the unoccupied portion is 30%. You're paying a rent of $10,000 a month for this premises, and you have a factory set up on this premises. Now what happens is you plan to utilize this space also. I repeat, you plan to utilize this space. So what now you would do is that if you plan to utilize this space, so by utilizing this space, what you do is that you allocate 30% rent to it. The rent which is allocated is not going to be considered as a relevant cost. Why? Because your rental cost was already committed. You had already committed to pay the rental of this $10,000, irrespective of whether this 30% space is utilized or not. So I repeat, if you had already committed to to pay the whole rental, irrespective of whether the premises is going to be utilized or not, so this $10,000 is your committed cost. And now what 30% rent that you are allocating to this specific project is the allocated overhead. It's not a directly attributable overhead. It isn't like this that your landlord is telling you that since you are now going to be utilizing this 30%, so you need to pay extra rental. No, 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 no. It's not like this. It's quite simple. Your landlord is not asking you any incremental money, is not asking you any extra money. So this $10,000 is a committed rental, irrespective of whether you use 70%, 20%, 40%, whatsoever. The next aspect is past cost. The past cost is also termed as sunk cost. Like for example, you bought a machinery for, let's say, $2 million. Now you bought a machinery for $2 million, and now because of XYZ circumstances, you are being required to sell this machinery. And a buyer comes in and he tells you that I'm going to pay you 400,000 for this machinery. You tell him I bought it for $2 million. Okay, you bought it for $2 million, but that's a past story. That's gone. That's long gone. You have to forget that story. All that you have to consider is what is happening right now. The current story is relevant. The current information is relevant. So the past cost means the costs that have been incurred in the past, and those costs were not related to this decision. The decision that we are taking today is to sell the machinery. The decision to sell the machinery is not connected to decision to buy the machinery. You bought it for 2 million. You bought it for 2 million because you could have only bought it for 2 million at that time. So you bought it for 2 million. You utilize that machinery. Now you want to sell it. And at the time of selling, the market value is 400,000. You cannot consider that I bought it for 2 million. That's long gone. That's a past story. So the past costs are those costs which have been incurred in the past and which had no relation whatsoever with the decision. That's called past cost. The lastly is there's non-cash items like depreciation, impairment, etc. They're also going to be considered as irrelevant cash flows. So they are not cash flows, they're irrelevant items. So whenever we go for the decision making, the important aspect with respect to decision making is you need to consider the relevant cost. Anyone having any questions with respect to relevant cost, please?